everybody, welcome back to Rank-O-Sub. Today we are going to have a session on idioms and phrases. We were having sessions of vocabulary, right? Now today the topic is idioms and phrases, right? We have had some sessions on synonyms, antonyms, etc. If you want those, videos, you can go and check those videos out. Okay, the links will be provided in the description. Now, guys, what exactly are idioms? What exactly are phrases? Okay, and how are they important for our exams? You have to take a look at that. What is idiom? First thing, okay, idioms are actually set of words. Idioms are generally set of words that give this different type of meaning, guys. Okay, idioms generally have different sort of senses. Okay, you will be given with group of words. Okay, if you look for the group of words, okay, if you look for the meaning in this group of words, if you are observing the group of words separately and looking for the meaning of that, you will not get the meaning of the idiom. Okay, the meaning of the idioms are entirely different because they have their own usages. Okay, the meaning will be derived based on the usage. Okay, in what context are you going to use these group of words? Okay, now such sort of things are generally called idioms. What are exactly phrases? Phrases are generally phrasal verbs. It's a short form of calling phrasal verbs. Okay, yes, what is a phrasal verb? Phrasal verb itself shows that it is actually a verb. Okay, whenever a verb is followed by a preposition, we generally call it a phrasal verb. Okay, now phrasal verbs have their own meanings. Okay, well, we know what exactly verb is. Verb generally denotes action, right? Okay, we know the meaning of verb already, right? It shows the meaning of the action only. It's a word. Then what exactly is the phrasal verb? Guys, if you are writing any preposition immediately followed by any verb, that becomes a phrasal verb. If you change this preposition from one to another, the meaning of the phrasal verb keeps on changing. Okay, each and every preposition along with a verb has its own sense. You have to learn all the combinations of verb plus prepositions by altering them. The combinations must be learned. So these are generally called idioms and phrases. Okay, idioms, the meaning depends upon the usage. Okay, how we generally use in what context, and phrasal verbs depending upon the combination, what sort of preposition will give what sense. Now guys, we are going to start. Okay, this is the question that is given in IBPS. Okay, this is a question that is given in IBPS, okay, and that is PO exam. Okay, now try to go through this question once. Okay, question says a committee has been established to select what? The cricket team. Okay, now a part of the sentence is underlined, that is established, this word. Okay, now you need to find any alternative from the option which exactly gives this sense. Okay, I need the meaning of establishment. Okay, and which combination gives me the sense of establishment? Understand clearly, you have only a verb. Set is a verb followed by up is actually a preposition. It's a phrasal verb. It's a phrasal verb. That simply means a question is actually based on the knowledge of phrasal verbs. Okay, now check. Up is one preposition. Set is followed by off. Off is another preposition. Okay, out is another preposition. Set out. And similarly, set about. About is another preposition. Let me tell you, each and every combination has its own meaning. Okay, the sense keeps on changing. I'll tell you the answer later on, but focus on set off first. Okay, set off, option number C. What is the meaning of set off? Let me write it here. Okay, all words starting with set followed by a preposition, phrasal verbs, will generally give you a sense of starting or beginning. Trust me, they will give you a sense of starting or beginning something, but what, that matters. Okay, now see, set off simply means to start or begin a journey. Start or begin a journey, or else you can also say a trip. You can also say a trip. Okay, if you are about to start any journey or a trip, you can use the phrasal verb set off of that. Okay, set along with off, that is the meaning of the phrasal verb set off. Okay, now guys, understand, set out, it also means the same, 100% same. Okay, wherever you can use set off, there you can also make use of set out. Okay, set out also means to start or begin a journey or a trip. That is 100% same. I'll give you an example also, don't worry. I'll give you the meanings first. What is the meaning of set about then? Set about, as I told you already, the meaning will definitely give you a sense of starting or beginning. Yes or no? Now guys, what is the meaning of set about? If I ever use set along with about, it will also give you a sense of beginning or starting. Okay, but begin to do any work, begin to do any work or start doing any work. Okay, begin to do any work. Okay, you're going to start doing a work in an enthusiastic way. In an enthusiastic way. If you are going to start any work, okay, in an enthusiastic way or energetic way, very interestingly, I can make use of the combination set along with about phrasal verb. Okay, now what is the meaning that I need at the end of the day? That is establishment. Do you find establishment in set of? No, it means starting or beginning a journey. Yes or no? Well, do you find it here? No. Similar, starting or beginning a journey. It is not establishment. Yes or no? So I can kick C out. I can kick B out. Okay. When will I do that? Only when I know the meaning of the phrasal verbs. Yes or no? What is the meaning of start about? Start about simply means to start doing something enthusiastically. It also has nothing to do with establishment. Obviously, you kick that out also. Okay. You're left with only one option. That is A, setup. Okay. Now, whenever you use verb set followed by preposition up, set up will always give a sense of establishing something. Okay, establishing any business. Okay, it could be any business or establishing any firm. Okay, establishing any company, establishing any institution, university or whatnot. Okay, wherever you need the verb, the word establishment, there you can make use of set up. Okay, I'll give you an example of set off also. Okay, how to use set off? There you can make use of set out also. Okay, let me write it properly here. Okay, now guys, how to use set along with off in order to give the sense of starting a journey. Okay, now see, let me write it here. Now see, we will set off early in the morning. Early in the morning. That simply means early in the morning we are going to start our trip or start our journey. That's all. Okay, so here you can make use of set off and you can also make use of set out, but not set about, but not set up. Okay, so no, the meaning of starting a journey will be available only in set off and set out. Okay, well, what is the meaning of set about? Starting to do something enthusiastically. You can make use of that anyway. Okay, now what is the meaning of set up? Set up is to start any organization or establish something. Yes or no? Okay, now let us move to a second question. Question is written on the board. Take a look at the question now. Okay, now I'll give you space. See guys, it starts like the chief guest distributed the certificates to the players of the winning team. Okay, now this is a question. Okay, the question is underlined here. You need the sense of distribution. Where do you get the sense of distribution? Again, when you go through the options, you'll understand that each and every option contains a phrasal verb. It contains a phrasal verb. Okay, now see, give is written in past tense as gave, and gave. Verb remains same. Verb is same. Okay, but the prepositions kept on changing. See guys, off, up, away and in. Now each and every combination has its own meaning. Okay, now if any of these options are not suitable for this word, then you can mark none of the above or none of these as the answer. Okay, anyway, what is the meaning of gave off, gave up, gave away and gave in? Where do I get distribution? Okay, the meaning of the first thing, see guys here, give in. I'll start with this one. Okay, what is the meaning of give in? Whenever you use give along with in, this combination will always give you a sense of surrendering. It will always give you a sense of surrender or stop fighting. Stop fighting your opponent. Okay, if you are stopping your fight against your opponent, I can say you are giving in. You are giving in, you are surrendering. That's all. Okay, so wherever you want the sense of surrendering or stop fighting, there you can make use of giving in. Now it doesn't match my context. Yes or no? So I can definitely kick this out. Okay, if you want, I'll give you the example also. Okay, now you can't guess the answer. You can't guess the answer. Let us say I asked you a question, okay, and I asked you to guess the answer also. Okay, now what happened is you're finding it difficult to answer this question. Okay, now see, I'm saying you can't guess the answer. Okay, you can't guess the answer. Now I'm asking one thing: do you give in? Do you give in? That simply means do you surrender? If you say you give in, I'll give the answer. Okay, I'll give the answer. So that is the meaning of give in. Okay, in the sense of surrendering, do you surrender? In place of surrender, I am making use of give in. That's all. Very easy. So that is the context of using give in. So it is not suitable. I will kick this out. What about the other ones? You know the meaning of give up? Yes or no? Give up simply means to quit. Give up simply means to quit doing something. Okay, let us say you want to do something. In the middle of the course of doing it, if you are stopping or quitting, I can say you are giving up. That's all right. So this is also not, matching my sense, right? I need the sense of distribution, so kick that out. You're left with only 3 options. Now see, gave off and gave away, and none of the above. Now what is the meaning of give off? Okay, we have to know the meaning of give off. Give off simply means to produce something. Give off simply means to produce something or emit something. Okay, I'll give you the example also. Wherever you want the sense of producing something or emission of something, there I can make use of give off, but unfortunately I need the sense of distribution, so definitely kick it out. Okay, I don't need the sense of production or production or emission, so I'm left with 2 things now. Okay, give away or none of the above. Okay, the answer is definitely give away. Why? Because the sense of give along with away, the past tense gave away, will give you the sense of distribution. Okay, give away simply means to distribute something. Okay, if someone is standing on the road and he is actually distributing the pamphlets, let's say, you can say he is giving away the pamphlets. Okay, that's all. So the meaning of the word give away simply means to distribute. I can mark it as my answer, so none of the above is not my answer. So answer for my question is actually what it is, give away, option B, right? Take a look at the third question, guys. Third question is written. What does it say? It says our office has been decorated for the chief minister's visit. Okay, well, underlined part is decorated. I need the sense of decoration. Where is it mentioned? Okay, is it mentioned in done for? Okay, phrasal verb once again, done with or done over or done up. Okay, done is anyway the past participle form of the verb do. So no, do, did, done, we know that, right? So generally the phrasal verbs are actually belonging to the family of do. Okay, we'll check the meaning of each and everything. Guys, what is the meaning of do with or done with? Okay, generally we use this phrasal verb a lot. Okay, I am done with you. You generally say it when you have a relationship with somebody, right? If you say I'm done with you, that simply means you are ending your relationship. Yes or no? You are ending your relationship, or you can say wherever you want to mention something like bringing something, okay, bringing something to an end. Okay, bringing something to an end, there you can make use of done with. Okay, well, one thing, do you need the sense of ending something here? No, so definitely you can kick this out. Okay, what about the next one? Do up or done up. Do up or done up is generally used in the sense of appearance. Okay, while in the sense of wearing shoes or wearing the shirts, etc., you can make use of do up. How? I'll tell you, guys. Whenever you tie something, okay, whenever you fasten something, there you can make use of do up. Okay, example, let us say you are wearing shoes, okay, and you are tying the laces. Okay, you are tying the laces. Instead of saying I am tying my laces, you can also say I am doing up my laces. I am doing up my laces. Very simple. Okay, now you need to know them, that's all. Okay, so do up simply means to tie or fasten something. Very easy. Okay, now I'll write an example also. Okay, I love doing up my laces. I can say this. Yes or no? I love doing up my laces. That simply means I love the work of tying my laces. That's all. Okay, laces of my shoe. So I don't need that sense at all. Yes or no? So you can kick this out also. Okay, left with 3 options. Okay, done for, do for, and done over. Okay, what exactly is the meaning of doing something over? Guys, the answer is actually done over. Okay, do over simply means to decorate something. Decorate something in a completely different way. Decorate something in a completely different way. Let me write it properly. Okay, different way. Okay, if you are giving a new look to your room, let us say you are making renovations, I can say you are doing it over. You are doing it over. So done over or do over is used in the sense of decorating something in a completely different way. In a completely different way or a new look, giving a new look. Okay, that is the meaning you are searching for, decoration. Obviously you can make use of done over. Okay, what is the meaning of done for? Okay, what is the meaning of done for? Guys, if you say you are done for, that simply means you are finished or you are sensing something like you are completely ruined because of something. Okay, if you feel like you are actually finished or you are ruined because of something, there you can make use of done for. Example, I'll write an example. Okay, when the ship started sinking, or I can also say to sink. Okay, when the ship started to sink, then what happened? Okay, then what happened? We all felt that we are done for. We are done for. What do you get the sense out of done for in this sentence? That simply means when the ship started to sink, when the ship is going down in the water, what you felt is you are completely finished now. Okay, my life is gonna end now, my life is finished, my life is ruined at this point. Okay, in that sense you can make use of done for. Anyway, not matching the context, so you can definitely kick it out. The answer is gonna be what? Do over. So none of this is also not my answer. Let us move to the next question. The question number 4 is written. Take a look at the red words here. So it says elbow room, right? Okay, what is elbow room? What is it? Now see guys, only 2 words are given. Okay, word number 1 and word number 2. These 2 words are actually used and they have a usage in English language, and we call it an idiom. We call it an idiom. Now it's an idiom. Idiom question is asked. You need to know the meaning of the idiom, that's all. Okay, options are given. Okay, which meaning is going to match the meaning of elbow room? You have to know that. Okay, you can't guess the meaning unless you know the meaning exactly. You must have read it somewhere. Okay, you must have used it somewhere at least. Okay, now what is the meaning of elbow room? Okay, if you go by the words separately guys, you will not understand. Room generally means room which is surrounded by walls, 4 walls, right? That is not exactly the case here. Okay, elbow remains as elbow anyway. You know the meaning of elbow. It has no meaning, you know, which is related to elbow also. Okay, I'll give you the meaning of elbow room. Elbow room simply means to have enough. Now the word room in this idiom is going to give you a sense of space. That's all. It is going to give you a sense of space. You know, room is a room which is surrounded by wall, and it has another sense also. The usage of the word room gives a sense of space also. Yes or no? Giving enough room means giving enough space to anybody. Yes or no? You know that. Now see, guys, have enough space. Okay, have enough space to move or work freely. Okay, wherever you are. Okay, let us say I am standing on the dais now. Stage. Okay, now on this stage I have 7 members standing. Okay, and the dais is so small, let us say. Okay, in that situation we will be standing very next to each other. Yes or no? In propinquity, the propinquity will be very less. Okay, we are going to stand very close to each other, right? Our shoulders will be touching. Yes or no? Right, that is the fact actually, right? So if I tell you guys, if I give enough room or if I need elbow room, I want the other people on standing on the stage to, you know, get out of the stage. Okay, I need enough elbow room. That simply means I need enough room to extend my elbows like this. Extend my elbows like this. I need enough space. That's all. Okay, that is the usage of the idiom elbow room. Okay, giving elbow room, that simply means giving enough space or freedom for somebody. Okay, freedom in the meaning, freedom in the movement. That's all. Okay, freedom in the movement. Okay, now not in the actions. Now see, that is the sense that I need. Where is it? Where is it? Search it now. Okay, opportunity for freedom in action. I did not say in action. Okay, freedom in actions. Okay, while doing any job you need freedom. No, not that freedom. Okay, freedom in space. That's all. Okay, I need enough space. That's all. Okay, where do I get enough space? This is not my answer. Okay, special room for the guest. You know, allotting a special room for a guest in your house, that is not the case. Yes or no? See, because room doesn't mean room. Yes or no? Room doesn't mean room. Room exactly means space here. So idioms generally give you indirect meanings, not direct meanings. They give you indirect meanings. See here, to add a new room to the house. See, again, room is used as a room here. That is the direct meaning. Idioms will never give you the direct meanings. They will always give you indirect meanings. So just kick it out. Okay, I'm left with 2. Now only 1. Okay, this is also kicked out, right? So obviously I'm gonna give B as the answer. Why? It says to give enough space to move or work in. Okay, having enough space or freedom to move is generally called elbow room. Having elbow room. That's all. Okay, with this we are going to conclude this session. The only request that I have for the students is to share these videos as much as possible. Okay, share with your friends, share with your family members, and share with all the students that are preparing for competitive exams, guys. Okay, with this, all the best, and you can check my other videos in the description also. Okay, all the best, my dear students. Thank you.